Hey everyone, me and Adrian, we got an exciting guest. Obviously a big part of DNA. Runs the solar side of the business. Andrew. First things first, Andrew, Adrian, how are you guys?
Very good. Thank you. How are you?
Fantastic.
We're doing great. We're prepping for a hurricane down here. We're in the middle of hurricane season. We're about to get slammed with the storm. It's supposed to be moseying on in here tomorrow and Sunday, so we should see some rain, some wind. And but we're all prepping down. Everyone's got their water. Everyone's got all their goodies, all their snacks put away. Their generators filled with fuel. So we're used to it by now. I mean, I'm originally from Florida, so I've been here for 32 years, and it's just part of life here. It's just part of the every year preparation. So
I don't think I've ever seen someone with such a big smile say we're prepping for a hurricane, and this guy's. Yeah. So that's awesome. But
absolutely. Well, I mean, all there is really to do in a storm is really like batten down in your hat, the hatches down, stay in your house, and drink margaritas, get the blender going, have a couple of drinks, relax, and just wait for it to pass.
Fair enough. Well, I know you're prepping for you might be prepping for a hurricane, but you told me tomorrow you're going out to, you got 3 different sales calls. But before we hop into that stuff, why don't we kick it off, Andrew? Do you want to maybe say where you went to school, how you kind of got involved in the solar industry? Give me your first couple jobs, like that kind of stuff. Tell me about your background.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, my name is Andrew Ferrin. I'm the CEO of the Solar Elite. We're a subsidiary here of DNA Brands. I'm like I said, originally born and raised here in Florida. I come from generations of entrepreneurs. My grandparents, they opened a factory when they first came to New York in the 1930s. Doing sewing for fur coats. So they originally opened the store. That's where my grandparents had met, and it's been a great journey so far. One of the things that really stuck with me is just really a lot of hard work. I'm the type of person who I love to work. You can ask Adrian. Like I'm working 16-hour days, and I'm not fazed by it because I love what I do here. So my family has been here. Everybody works in construction. I've been in construction since I've been 14. I started off in pool construction because, of course, there's a lot of pools here in South Florida. But it really enabled me to see how things were created, and it really built my passion and my love to be able to just take a vision of something of what you want and then actually construct it and visually build it. And I've carried that with me. I mean, I did pool construction. I've done interior construction. I've done commercial construction where we would build from the shell up, complete renovations of office spaces. I've done churches, you name it. But I got into solar about 3 years ago. I started off with some really bad partners. Like a lot of people have that same type of story, but I started off with the idea that I wanted to build a solar brokerage. I wanted to be in a place where I can help homeowners evaluate what the best situation would be for them to go solar. So I built up relationships with installers all through the state of Florida, a lot of the larger installers, a lot of the smaller installers, and just started to test and see really what was going on, what the process is, how they developed the systems, what panels they were using, what equipment. And it gave me the ability to really compare and contrast what each individual installer was doing, so I can take the best of what they were doing to build one company. That company crashed and burned. We did not get paid by installers, and that is a story that a lot of people have in solar. There's a lot of companies that really don't do great business. It's not a very regulated industry, especially with licensing credentials and what a company needs to be established. And I kind of got out of it for a year. I ended up going and selling cruises at a Norwegian cruise line, which is based down here in South Florida. And after about 6 months of it, I missed solar. So I got back in with a company that does roofing and solar, and then it evolved into me wanting to be able to do more. I start off as a salesperson. I mean, in my heart, I love helping people. And for me, the way I facilitate that is through sales. I want to be able to come in and meet people, learn about them, and really be able to do the best that I can for them in terms of the process. And the way that I facilitate that is really through sales. I want to help them get what they want. I want to make sure that they get a good deal, a good value, a good warranty, and someone who's always there for them. I mean, I got customers who call me 10 o'clock at night. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm always there for my customers. I build great relationships with all of them, and I really like to make sure that they're well taken care of. So I wanted to be able to expand myself, because sales, of course, is just a personal development journey. And I started learning about how to do lead generation online. I found a course where I learned how to generate leads on Facebook and social media. And then I started searching for people to help mentor me to learn, and really developed over the last, I would say, 18 months, the ability to generate leads on demand for really any industry, but I specifically targeted solar. And we've generated thousands of leads online and helped hundreds of homeowners go solar.
So before you hop into this, and so you're already leading into starting your own company, wearing multiple hats, you're doing sales, you're doing marketing, you're doing installing, you're doing all this stuff. Tell me, like, what about solar? You know, you say you just couldn't avoid it. Like, what did you love about solar? You know, what was the, hey, like, I want to be in this industry? And I mean, was it the money that you saw potential? Was it, you know, save the environment? Like, what's the take?
I mean, I'm the type of person that I'm really cheap. I come from nothing, you know. It was always me and my mom growing up together, and you know, it would always be us together. You know, she's a single mom working hard. She used to literally travel like an hour and a half so I could go to a good school. But I saw how she struggled, and that really made an impact on me. And it really helps set a foundation for how I can be financially savvy and really save money. What I love about solar is the fact that at the core heart of solar, what you're doing is you're transferring from a perpetual debt with the utility provider into an asset for the home with less money than you're already spending. It's like a magic trick. And, you know, a lot of people are here, I'm sure they're financially, you know, minded and math minded. It's really a magic trick what I do for these homeowners. Whether they understand truly the actual benefits of it or they don't, I understand that it's very rare to be able to find a product that does what this does, as you know, meaning solar, and what type of benefit it does. It's incredible.
You touch on that. You're a sales guy at first, just like me. What's the easiest sales tool other than this is how much you're going to spend, this is how much you're going to get back, right? You know, here's your ROI. And that's kind of the magic trick you're talking about. Do you want to chat about, you know, maybe even an example, and we'll get into some of the other stuff, but do you want to chat about examples of you've installed this and after X, you know, time they were, you know, basically making money or saving money depending on how you look at it? Is there any examples you want to give people?
Sure. What I do is always give the standard example of someone who has an average bill, because I've helped customers who have $1,100 a month bills, but the average customer doesn't have crazy bills like that. The average customer has about a $200 a month bill. So an average customer here in South Florida spends between $200 and say $225 on electricity. By them going solar, they're looking at saving close to $60,000 to $85,000 over the life of the solar system by going solar. And then in addition, because that is a cost that is going to be associated with the inflation, because ever since they started tracking electricity in the 1960s, the cost of electricity is always steadily gone up between 2 and 5%. It's always going up. It's not like gasoline where it fluctuates in pricing. It's always based on demand, and of course, population is continuously growing. So this exponential growth really has a bottom line impact on people's electric bills. When we look at a $200 bill, 10 years down the future, they could be spending well over $300 on their electric bill. So what we're doing is we're guarding them against the ever-increasing rise in inflation. And in addition, we're giving them an appliance essentially that has a tangible asset value that's usually the full cost of the system. So if a system costs $35,000, they'll usually be able to go sell the system to the next homeowner for anywhere from $30,000 to $35,000 in additional property value when they go and sell the home.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And, you know, we'll get into the exciting how do you join DNA in a second. You know, do we want to do a quick segment, just give people the quick overview of, you know, what 9.5 Solar is, where you guys are at, and kind of that whole little segment, and then we'll chat, of course, about how you got involved with DNA and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are located in Lauderdale by the Sea in South Florida. So we're probably about 10 miles just north of downtown Fort Lauderdale. Our office is literally 2 blocks from the beach here off of Commercial Boulevard. We have office space here that we do the lead generation, the phone calls, the engineering for the systems. It's all done in-house here. And then what we do is we set up relationships with installers across the country, because one of the largest expenses inside of the solar industry itself is customer acquisition. They spend a lot of money to educate consumers about going solar. And that's really what we specialize in. We specialize in creating a customer journey to make sure that customers understand, one, the education behind solar, what they're actually getting into, and being able to really let them know exactly how the process works. By being able to break it down to the customer, to be able to just connect with them and really let them know what they're doing and the financial benefits involved with going solar.